Hey, I'm Keegan. I'm the Balanced Nomad, and today I'm going to be taking you through a full body yin class. No props are required, and it's suitable for beginners. If you haven't practiced yin before, it follows 3 principles to find your edge, be still, and hold the pose. So number 1, finding your edge, meaning you're finding a point where you're feeling sensation, but you're not putting yourself in the most intense version of the pose. Because of the next 2 principles, we're going to hold it. So in yin, typically 3 to 7 minutes to hold a class, but because this is a shorter class, I'll be holding each pose for around 1 to 2 minutes. And number 3, we're gonna be still. So trying to not move really at all in the pose, except on your exhales, you're gonna try to see if you can move a little bit deeper if you have a bit more space available. But of course, if you feel any discomfort or any pain in any of the poses, feel free to back off, skip that pose, get into a child's pose, do whatever feels best for you here. So the first pose, we're gonna move onto our backs, finding a laying butterfly. So bringing feet together, finding a nice diamond shape with the legs here. The closer your feet are, the more intensely you'll feel this in between your legs. So just choosing whatever variation, remembering to find your edge here. You don't need to put yourself in the most extreme version of the pose in yin because we will be holding them and the time elapsed will cause you to feel sensation regardless of how intense you feel the pose now. So getting comfortable here. The first pose, we're going to be here for about 2 minutes. So just getting settled into our bodies here. Always remembering to breathe. If a pose gets hard, just always focusing on the breath here. I tend not to talk too much during my yin classes because I think yin is just the best for self-reflection and analyzing the body. So I will cue you into the poses, but I'll definitely give you space for reflection. And we can slowly begin to move out of this posture. Maybe bringing the legs together with the hands. And we're going to move into child's pose from here. So bringing ourselves back into a seat. Maybe crossing the legs to come forward. Finding a child's pose from here. I'm going to be moving into extended child's pose. So knees about the width of your mat, big toes together. Pushing the hips back and walking the hands forward, bringing forehead to mat. Feeling a big stretch all the way from the fingertips to the hips. And we'll be here for 2 minutes. Always remembering to come back to the breath. And you can slowly begin to walk out of this posture, just walking ourselves backwards with the hands. We're going to move into a low lunge from this pose. So you can come into a tabletop, maybe give a little shake out with the hips here before we move into our next pose. And starting with the right foot, bringing it forward in between the hands. Checking our alignment, trying to keep heel roughly around the knee. You can stay with the hands down here, but trying to keep the chest upwards and proud. If it feels good for you, you could also come up if you want to be a bit straighter in the upper body and use the hands on the top of the knee. I'm going to stay down here today. And just remembering to bring breath into that back left hip. This pose can get quite intense when you're holding it. Always coming back to the breath and noticing what your mind is telling you when you're in a difficult pose. And slowly bringing both the hands to the inside of the right foot. We're going to heel toe the foot to the right side of the mat. Giving ourselves some space here. We're going to move into lizard, so you can either stay up on palms here, maybe you're up on fingertips, or if you have the space available, you can always come down to the elbows. But I'm just going to stay up on my palms here, so that I can keep the chest up and proud. This can be quite an intense posture. We can slowly push ourselves back here, walking back with the fingertips, always remembering to move super slowly out of these deep postures. Coming back into tabletop, just finding a little rock with the legs here before moving into low lunge on the opposite side. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little bit better. So bringing left foot forward, either bringing fingertips, palms to the mat, or staying up on the knee. Try and keep the chest pointing upwards, not just flopping down here. Staying nice and proud. Breathing into the right hip flexor. And we can slowly start heel toeing the left leg to the edge of the mat. Coming into our lizard, either staying on hands or coming down to the elbows here. I'm just gonna stay up on my palms here. I am able to go onto my elbows, but it's not always about bringing the most intense version of the pose. There's nothing to prove, just trying to take the ego out of it. And just choosing what feels good, not what you think looks right or how you should be in a pose, how flexible you should be. Just choosing whatever feels best for your body. This is also a big lesson for myself. And we can very, very slowly release out of this pose. Coming back into tabletop, giving a nice shake out for the hips. Maybe a little circles feel nice. And we're gonna give the lower body a little break now, moving into the upper body and shoulders. We're gonna find thread the needle from here. So from tabletop, lifting left arm above us and threading it underneath the right. Few options with the hand here. Can either keep it pressed into the mat, overhead, or tucked behind the back. So just choosing wherever you feel comfortable here. Remember, you don't need to go into the most intense pose where you think you should be versus where you should actually be. So just choosing what feels right here. And seeing on the exhales, can you move a little bit deeper in the pose? Inhaling, full of air, and exhaling, releasing. See if you can move a tiny bit deeper into the posture. And we can slowly release here. Just pressing ourselves back up with the left arm straight, seeing if you have any more space available. And finding thread the needle on the opposite side. So extending right arm above us, threading it underneath the left arm, and choosing the arm variation that feels the best for you. Bringing lots of breath into the shoulders. And we can come out of this posture, pressing that right arm back up straight. And we're gonna move into our puppy pose from here. So bringing knees underneath hips, we walk the hands forward, bringing either forehead or chest to the mat, so choosing where you wanna stay today. Bringing chin can be quite intense, so only choosing this if you feel the space available for you. And slowly release out of this posture, just coming to the belly here. Just to transition, we're gonna lie onto our backs. We're gonna find some spinal twists from here. This will be our last position of class. So first, bringing the left knee in towards the chest and turning it over to the right side. If this is too intense for you, you can also go with the right knee underneath. But I personally like to do it with my right leg extended so I can feel it a little bit deeper. Remembering to press that left shoulder blade into the mat, and gaze can be to our right fingertips, so we're looking over the left shoulder. And you can come back to the center here, squeezing that left leg into the chest and releasing before finding the twist on the opposite side, bringing right knee in towards the chest, either with both legs or one leg, twisting over to the left side. Gaze is to our right fingertips, and right shoulder blade is pressed into the mat. Bringing right leg back up, squeezing it into the chest. Coming to Shavasana, our final resting pose. Taking any little movements that feel good before we get there, maybe windshield wipering the legs side to side. Before spreading out, taking lots of space, legs and arms are out wide. Just a moment to reflect on how we're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, and just letting it all go, finding a few minutes rest, and I'll call you back when it's time. We can slowly begin to reawaken into the body, starting by wiggling fingers and toes, bringing a little movement back. And we can reach arms overhead, taking a big stretch like we just woke up in the morning. And turning over to our right side, just finding a little fetal posture for a breath or two. And coming back to seated. Just closing the practice from here. I'm gonna do a chant of 1 Om. Feel free to join me. Inhaling to chant. Om. Bringing hands to the forehead. We bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you're feeling a lot better in your body, nice and stretched out and relaxed, because I know I definitely am feeling really nice after practicing yin. I post lots of yin classes. I love teaching yin. So definitely subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any classes, and I hope to practice with you soon. Oh, I feel amazing.